I would like to just begin in asking you, what was your initiation into fatherhood?
Yeah, good question, man. So I was, it's almost been 8 years. My oldest son is, he'll turn 8 in a month, exactly a month, actually. I always wanted to be a dad, and it was always this really clear outcome in my life. I fully expected and passionately pursued, becoming a parent. And, I did a lot of work beforehand, right? Not specifically around fatherhood, but I had been, engaged in men's groups for 8 years prior to becoming a dad, and, had several therapists and done plenty of plant medicine, and, walked a path really from, I guess, when I was 26 and on, of some real intention, and really kind of got after it in terms of learning about myself and different things. And then I met my wife and we got married, and very quickly, wanted to begin having children, and we did. And, I didn't have any specific prep other than like what the midwife that we hired, right? We had a couple classes with her, and, my wife was the one taking the lead, and she found some books and recommended some books, and we read some books together. And, I don't think I thought about it that much, right? I mean, I did, but it wasn't like this most proactive front of the mind thing, right? And then it happened. And then immediately I realized how unprepared I was, both for the lows and the highs, man. My son's birth, the first birth that we had was out of a fucking movie, man. It was a long, 30 some hour labor. It was intense. We got transferred to a hospital. We started at home. Just, it was the whole experience. And then Duke came out, and he wormed his way up onto Elise's chest, and I walked around, and I got down eye to eye with him, and the dude fucking lifted his head up and looked directly into my eyes, and just no idea that was even a possibility. I didn't know that could happen, and it just fucking my life ended and started again in that moment. It totally. Wow. And I mean, it sounds a little dramatic, but it felt dramatic when it was happening, man. And then the next month I got fired from my big job, and I started feeling this immense weight of responsibility that I had never, ever expected or had no way to even conceive of.
Because in that moment, as those eyes are looking back at you, that's the moment where you realize I'm responsible for someone else completely.
Yeah, man. The analogy I like to use for expecting dads is so we've never played football before in our lives. We've never been on a field. And then somebody gives us a helmet and we walk out on the stadium and we're on a fucking NFL field playing a game on a Sunday afternoon. It's, it's the stakes are high. It is full contact and it is terrifying. And we've literally never played before. It's just what's going on? Why are we not practicing?
And then someone gives you the ball and goes, run.
Yeah, man.
Well, let's stay here in the power of birth. I think this is also a place where we as men get we can move too quickly beyond it. You're someone who has participated in many ceremonies, as you said. Mm-hmm. The ceremony of birth, to bear witness to the power of women, to the strength of the mothers as our children come through. And for those of us that have different experience, my daughter Winona, as she was just born, we had a home birth, tub, bedroom, electric LED candles, the whole deal. Owl feather fan, the whole deal. Mm-hmm. And Winona comes out, what they call posterior, sunny side up, moon side up in this case, because it was evening. And she comes out underwater, face up, and then her eyes just bloop, opened underwater. Whoa. As we're reaching down and bringing her up to us. It was the ceremony of ceremonies, the ceremony of life. and also how close it is to death. You know, what's your take on that as someone who goes out into the wilderness, into the wild? What more wild experience is there?